Alrighty, today guys we're inside a Toyota Rav4 2006, customer complaint, no horn. Let's see what we find. First we'll just switch the ignition on, and what I like to do is hold down the horn for a start, just on these modern vehicles. Sorry, just turn the radio down. We'll hold down the horn and give the steering wheel a full turn. Might be easier if I start it up. Back the other way. And it's just a quick check for the clock spring. Not always a great test for it, but sometimes you'll find there's one little spot that the horn will work, and you can pretty much confidently say at that point it's a clock spring. Alright, well, next we'll probably head to the relay. And this fuse box here, already looked up some data for it. Test light to battery ground, and see our horn. This 10 amp one here is our horn. So, fuse checks out alright. The relay is actually part of this whole thing. We'll just have to, I'll set you up and we'll get that out. Set you up somehow. I haven't figured out how to use this camera yet, but good. Alright. So, according to wire diagram, this little green wire comes from the clock spring and the horn pad, and this black wire goes down to the horn. So for a start we'll probe into this green. We can already hear the relay clicking. So this green wire is actually the ground for the relay, ground side switched. So we've just hooked up to battery positive now, and we'll see if we get a light. I can't tell if the camera's picking that up or not. I can see the lights going though when I press the horn. So I've got control all the way there. Now, this black wire goes to the horn. So test light still on battery positive. Should find the ground path all the way to the horn, so got a bit of an issue here. I would expect this test light to be lit right now. Let's go to the horn. I'll just stop you guys here to explain our test so far. Firstly, we've checked the fuse is okay and has power. Next, with the test light grounded, we've probed here at pin 7, and you could hear the relay was clicking. At this point, the horn should have been blaring at us, because we were acting as the switch. This would have been enough confirmation to move on to the next test we're about to perform, but we like to be 100% with our circuit testing. So I moved my test light over to battery positive and probed the same wire. This is where I push the horn pad again, and you can see the test light lit up. This test just confirms good connection at the junction connector, rules out the clock spring or spiral cable as some people call it, and also the ground right at the end here. Next, when I switched over to pin 8 here, still connected to battery positive, we should have seen the test light dimly lit, but maybe not blaring the horn. The fact we saw no test light action tells me that there is either a bad horn or a break in the circuit. I need the horn to be going, don't I? Alright, so I've just got a 4 amp test light hooked into battery positive, feeding voltage down into the horn circuit that way. This smaller test light battery negative, and let's see. So if I'm touching a ground and we're on battery negative, why would you think that would happen? Let's swap test light over to battery positive, and if it finds a ground, no ground. So we're just missing a ground. This car has had a front bumper off in a re-spray by the panel beaters, so I'm expecting there's probably a wire missing that's not grounding this this chassis, this rail here out. Alright, so let me explain why the test light was shining at a ground to ground connection and why that tells me it's missing a ground. So first I load the circuit with a positive power at pin 8 here through my high amp test light. Now we know electricity always flows in the path of least resistance, and this means my small test light becomes the path to ground if there is no ground path. Let's add a permanent ground path. Alrighty, so what I've done is attach my own ground at the horn, and we'll just come straight up to the battery. Now let's feed our, whoa, now we've got a horn. So simple as that. We'll just go and make sure it works inside the car. Sure it will. Beauty. Nice and easy. So thanks for watching this one with me, guys. Pretty easy diagnosis, missing ground. Yeah. We'll see you in the next one.